French art consists of the visual and plastic arts, including French architecture, woodwork, textiles, and ceramics. Originating from the Gero- originating from the Gero- originating from the geographical originating from the georo- geographical originating from the geora- the geo- originating from the geographical art of France, originating from the ger- originating from the geographical or- originating from the geographical art of France, originating from the ge- orig- originating from the geographical area of France. Modern France was the main center for the European art of the Upper Paleolithic, then left many megalithic monuments, and in the Iron Age, many most of impressive finds of early Celtic art. The Gallo the Ga- the Gallo-Roman art the Gallo-Roman period left a distinctive provincial style of sculpture, and the region around the modern Franco-German border led the empire in the mass production of finely decorated ancient Roman pottery, which was exported to Italy and elsewhere on a large scale. With Merovingian art, the story of French styles as distinctive with Merovingian art, the story of French styles as with Merovingian art, the story of French styles as a distinct and influential element in the wider development of arts of Christian with Merovingian art, with Merovingian art, with Merovingian art, the story of French styles as a distinct with Merovingian art, the story of French styles as a distinct and with Merovingian art, with Merovingian art, the story of French styles as a distinct and influential elements. With Merovingian art, the story of the French. With Merovingian art, the story of French styles as a distinct and influential element in the wider development of the art of Christian Europe begins. The art are deeply the arts are deeply appreciated the arts are deeply appreciated in French traditions. Hobbies and professions are historical hobbies and profession are dis hobbies and hobbies and professions are historic hobbies and professions are historically shown deep respect for the craftsmanship that goes into them. French literature, French literature, painting, and cinema are are all historically significant. Are all sig- are all history are all historically French literature, painting, and cinema are all historically significant around the world. Works such as Les Miserables of Works such as Les Miserables or works such as Les Miserables and artists such as Monet Works such as Les Miserables or artists such as Monet are some of the most Works such as Les Miserables or artists such as Monet are some of the most recognizable in the world. French traditions in the fine arts are deep and rich, and painting and sculptures, music, dance, architecture, photography, and film all flourish under the state support. All flourish under state support. In painting, there was a long tradition from the Middle Ages and Renaissance that, while perhaps not matching those of Italy or the Low Countries, produced a number of religious subjects and court portraits. By the 17th century, paintings of peasants by Louis. By the 7th century, painti- by the 17th century, paintings such by the 17th century, paintings of peasants by the 17th century, paintings of peasants by Louis Lula. By the 17th century, paintings of peasants by Louis Lula, of allegories and classical myths by Nicolas Poussin. By the 17th century, paintings of peasants by Louis Lula, of allegories and of allegories and classic of allegories and classical myths, of ag- of alle- alle- of allegories and classical myths by Nicolas Poussin, and of formerly pastoral scenes by Claude Lorraine. Began to give art began to give art began to give French art its own characteristic. Began began to give French art began to give French art its own characteristics.